So I made my first game, kind of. First off, I want to let it be known that I'm a total programming noob. My experience boils down to about a semester of computer science at my university before I dropped out to pursue other things, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, my first game. So I decided to learn Game Maker because from what I've heard, it's really easy, and also from reading around from different devs, they say that it's a really good tool for just prototyping things quickly. My line of thinking is I'm just using it to get my feet wet. Plus, I feel like it won't be totally wasted time because anytime I want to throw something together quickly, I'll have that skill set built up. I'm just going to use it as a stepping stone, and from here I'll probably go to something moderately harder like learning Lua or learning GODOTs. Is that how you say it? GODOT, GODOT. I don't know what it is. I just say Godot. Learning Godot's language, which I've read is similar to Python. So the first project that I did, I went through the official Game Maker Studios YouTube page, and I went through a drag and drop tutorial for making your first game. I just basically wanted to get familiar with the tool set. I was following along the tutorial, and it basically teaches you how to make some little robot shooter that counts score. However, I wanted to take it a little bit further, and I decided to deviate from what they were actually teaching just so I could actually apply the things that I was learning and do it myself. And do some extra things just so that I could retain the knowledge better. I basically changed the aesthetics of the game, added some new skills and functionality, and I even added a victory condition. Let's go ahead and launch it real quick so y'all can see my awesome, amazing work. I plan to sell this game for like $99. Okay, so I didn't add this corny little title thing. That was actually what was with the tutorial. I didn't change this up. I didn't bother to do that because it would have taken me to actually create the asset for that, and I didn't feel like doing it. So here's my version of the game, and we got this music going. I'm actually gonna turn this down. I hope I don't die while turning this down. Okay, so let me explain the game. If you get touched by a ghost or a demon, you die. And you can kill them, and you get points every time you kill them. But the goal of the game is to walk through the forest to the barracks. When you get to the barracks, you're home safe and you win. So let's play. Here we go. So you have your fireball, which does damage. It takes 5 fireballs to kill a target, and then you have your ice blast, which does very little damage, but it slows your targets. And it puts a stacking debuff on them. Okay, so we died right there. It puts a stacking debuff on them. I'm just going to explain this so that I don't have to waste time while I'm going through it. It puts a stacking debuff on them. At 2 stacks, I didn't really balance it or anything. At 2 stacks, it roots them in place, and it makes them take more damage from fire attacks. So it would take 5 fire attacks to kill a creature. But when you put the frost debuff on them, it only takes 4 attacks. And then we have a mind control spell. It only works on ghosts, but if you land it on ghosts, it makes them attack demons. See, I actually like changed the sprite out so that now he's controlled and he's gonna seek out other demons. And I could even line it up, skill shot it to where I'll hit multiple. Oh my god, I walked into one. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at my own game. Let's show this real quick. Okay, we'll slow down. They're right in place. Woo, that was close. That was mine. So we're gonna get 2 right here, I think. Hopefully I lined that skill shot up, right? Oh my god. I can't even beat my own game. That's how bad I am. Or maybe that's how great of a game developer I am. Then again, game developers are notoriously bad at their own games, so it might not line up. These ours now. I want to show y'all, the victory. I want to win. Now, I didn't actually add walls in, which is something I could have done. hit. No, I killed him. I killed my family. Whew, that was close. Got 2 though. We're gonna get 2 again. Slow him, and here we go. We made it home. Victory! We made it, and that is totally not ripped off. I hand painted this. But yeah, so that's the game. I'll take y'all through a little bit of this, just some of the things that were done. Let's go to the workspace, and we have a mess here. We're not very clean with this, but these are basically all the drag and drop feature. It's a visual scripting language, and I was gonna try to challenge my take my skills a little bit further and add more features, but as I read around, the programming language, the drag and drop is pretty terrible, and I was experiencing that myself. It's very limiting, and a lot of things were actually harder to pull off than if you were to actually just learn the code. Plus, I want to learn the programming language so I can move on to other things, so that kind of defeats the purpose. I feel like it'd be wasted time. I just imported assets off the internet and coded different animations. And for the ghost, I actually... So you have the ghost, but then I changed the sprite out for when he's under control, and I just drew red over him and gave him red eyes, so that when you hit him with a control spell, and I think it's on collision, so when it collides with object enemy, it's gonna assign a variable. I don't know why I was assigning HP to it, but who cares? It adds a stack of control essence. It changes the sprite to spirit ghost control, and it still gives you points. And then, so it adds a stack of control essence, and if we come to the enemy and we look, object enemy, if we come here, we have control essence. And then in their step, I have it so that if control essence equals 1, they check to see if a demon exists, and then they instead of seeking the player, they seek out the demon, and they actually get boosted speed as well. And when it collides with the demon, kills him. So anyways, that's about all for that. Right now, I'm working on a new project, following along a tutorial by Heartbeast. Shout out to him. He's got some really great content, really good guides if you want to learn Game Maker. I'm following along one of his tutorials right now, and I've finally caught up to his live tutorial. I'll open that up real quick. It's like a little hack and slash project teaching you how to do some hack and slash elements, but it's not using drag and drop. It's actually using GML. And so now that I've caught up to him, I set a scope for some of the things that I want to do with the project and some of the things that I want to change with it. So that's one of the ways to learn things better, is to not just take it in and follow along with what he's doing. Now I'm going to take what he's been doing and I'm going to change it completely to something else. So his project has you create like this skeleton, and you do this hack and slash with a skeleton. I'll show that right here. So as you can see, you have a skeleton and you're just fighting enemies, and you're basically just counting score until you die. Well, now I'm gonna change it to a mage. As you can see right here, I actually hand drew this sprite, and I am a shitty artist. Where is it? Where is he? Where's his idol? Here's the sprite idol. I only have 2 animations for the idol right now, and I haven't. At first, I was actually doing them as red. I was following along some little pixel art tutorial. I actually have them as red, but it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the game. I'll just go ahead and run the game right now. It's very bare bones now that I'm changing things out. When I walk, it changes to the red mage, and I made a little crappy tack animation. But here's the idol, and this enemy is supposed to be seeking you out and attacking you, but I haven't changed the code around yet. I'll show you a little bit of that, and you can laugh at me because you'll get to see my lack of coding knowledge, because I might have done this the hard way. well, where is it? Object skeleton is the player, and there's probably a much easier way to disable this object so that I don't get compile errors because both things are being coded as the player. So I just went and added freaking backslashes through the whole thing to cancel out these this code. But I am now creating special code for my mage that I'm making, and I'm going to make some new skills for him. My goal with this project is to make a fireball. So his project has 3 attacks. Like your first swing is just like an arcing swing, and then it's like a bigger swing, and then it's a stab, and they do knockbacks. Well, I'm going to make a fireball, like a small fireball on first left click that has a mini knockback, bigger fireball on the second click, which is a little bit bigger knockback, and then a third fireball which has a big knockback and does more damage. And then I'm going to try to make a mechanic. So the mage is going to have a potion, but in order to fill up the potion, in order to use the potion, he has to fill it up with an essence. And the essence is going to be generated from your second fireball attack. It's going to generate a little bit of essence, and then a skill that's called maybe draw essence or something. And it's going to channel on an enemy, and it's going to animate magic pouring over to him, and it's going to fill his essence bar as it's a channeled skill. And then I'm going to make 2 more skills, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to try to make a blink and then an AoE stun. And then I want to add platforms to jump to, and I think that's about all I have for the scope of the project. I just want to add some new challenges and actually have to change the code to work for the things that I want so that I better learn and internalize the things that I'm getting from his tutorial. But anyways, guys, that's all for today. If you want to see where I go with this game, then go ahead and like and subscribe.